Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the 100 Days AI Tool Challenge. My name is Pratibha and I'll be your moderator for today. So if at any point you have any questions or you want to know anything, please feel free to use the chat box and let's make this interactive. So what is most resonated with you for this session? What are your key takeaways? Or if you have any question to our today's speaker regarding the session, or if you want to know more about the GSDC initiative, please drop them in the chat box. That's where we know you're actively listening and absorbing the insight. So just allow me a minute to share my screen. Meanwhile, please let us know from where you guys are watching. So on behalf of the Global Skill Development Council, I'm truly delighted to welcome you all into the AI Implementation Series, a 100 Days AI Tool Challenge. A hands-on webinar series designed especially for managers and professionals like you, including the live demo, real-world use cases, to make you learn what you apply and what you can take away in your daily professional life. So one of the things which make this challenge is amazing is the amazing panel of speakers we have lined up for you. Some of them have already delivered incredible, insightful sessions, and others are all set to bring in more powerful idea. And here's a little spoiler. So we are continuously adding more experts to our panel. So make sure you're grabbing the spots for upcoming session as well. And you want to know how? Well, hang tight till end of today's event and I'll be telling you the details then. So for those who are joining with us for the very first time, let me give you a quick introduction who we are. Global Skill Development Council is a globally recognized certification body committed to bridging the gap between skill, industry, and innovation. We are accredited by ABICB. We are supported by WordPress media partner who help us simplify and reach out to the wider global audience. Till yet, we have a 250,000 professionals certified with us. We have 500 plus subject matter experts and 100 plus authorized training partners who contribute to our program. And we are associated with 1,000 plus multinational companies and 50 plus university worldwide. And currently, we are covering around 100 plus certification portfolio. And I wanted to make an announcement. So, we have just launched a very unique platform called GSDC AI Studio, Lifelong Learning Initiative. In this AI Studio, you will be getting 100 plus lively sessions monthly from the global expert around the world, which include 4 daily sessions, 45-minute live expert lead session for hands-on learning, sessions from global expert, learn directly from our AI leaders around the world, real-time practice, apply concept immediately and get your questions answered, certification ready, training aligned with our industry standard for job ready skills. You want to know how you can get the benefit of GSDC AI Studio? Well, let me tell you. So there are 3 ways for this. First, you have a free 30-day access in which you will get 80 plus live session per month, access to full GSDC studio. Second, you have a GSDC lifelong membership starting from $109. In this, you will be upgrading to Pro and you will get the lifetime access, 80 plus live session per month, access to full GSDC studio, free GSDC membership, access to physical event and LinkedIn profile improver. Last but not the least, we have GSDC certification lifetime membership. Now, this is for a very limited time of offer, so make sure you're grabbing this offer and it is starting from $100. In this, you will get the GSDC certification, all benefit of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone projects plus AI tool, GSDC Copilot, and competency assessment tool. As I told you, currently we are covering 100+ certification in our portfolio, which include learning and development and HR, Gen AI, Agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO lead auditor and implementer, project management and PMO, Agile DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and many more. And once you get certified with the GSDC, you don't just walk away with the certification. You also become a community member of our part of the community member. So in which you will get the GSDC membership benefits, which include lifelong membership, certification upgrade, workshop, boot camps, learning club access, also the full benefit of GSDC EI Studio, and many more. Now, for those who have joined us for the very first time, let me tell you quickly what is the AI Tool Challenge. So, this challenge is all about making AI real practical and immediately useful for managers and professionals like you. Across these 100 days, we are diving into tool that helps with everything from automation and collaboration to data-driven decision making. So far, we have already completed many challenges, and yet we are ahead another insightful session. So I hope you're all ready for that, which brings me to the highlight of today's speaker. Chris Redwinski is the founder of Red Consultant, a boutique AI and data analytics consultant based out of New York City. Red helps companies across industries implement AI workflow to increase efficiency and expand their reach. But any AI solution is only as good as the data it sits on. Has decades of expertise with data governance, data capture, and automation, and help ensure this new AI are robust and effective. When Chris is not building out his AI business, he enjoys coaching his daughter in youth sports and has a bi-weekly newsletter on stockic philosophy at the redstockic.com. He has already delivered one of the session at 4th November. If you're following our journey, so you will be aware about it. He gave the session of uses of AI workflow part 1. In that, he let us know how to do the automation and collaboration using the NATN tool. And today he is going to lead one of more session uses of AI workflow part 2. In this session, we'll dive deeper into how NATN streamlines workflows and automate complex processing using AI-driven efficiency. And before we begin, just a quick reminder, if you have any queries during the session or if you would like to know more about GSDC or an initiative, if you have any question from Chris, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. That way we know you're active listening and absorbing the insight. With that, it's time to hand over the stage to Chris. Chris, we are very honored to have you as our speaker. Welcome once again. The stage is all yours.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Pratibha, and great to be here. Thank you to the GSDC for getting me involved here again, and happy to share my insights here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to ask everybody if they could respond to just one question just by raising their hand. And let me see one second here. Sorry, let me get it. That's the one. All right. Just one question. Can you please raise your hand using the React button within Zoom here if you attended the session on Tuesday? Because don't want to make sure, I want to make sure nobody doesn't know what I'm talking about. So if I do the entire thing for everybody that's already been here, looks like we got two folks. Okay, so David and SK, thank you so much, and Kat for coming again. Okay, we got a couple more thumbs up. So we have some returners, which is terrific. So thank you so much for being interested to come again. And I'm going to absolutely be diving into content that I did not tackle on Tuesday. But for those folks that did not attend on Tuesday, they've never heard of, they've never seen, they've never played with N8N. I'm going to tee up what it is, what my business does, and then we'll jump into the actual tool itself. So with that, I am not sure if I'm sharing my screen. There we go, and share, and I think it is being shared. Anybody give me a thumbs up, please, if you see Rad Consultants, Rad AI Workflows on your screen.
Yes, Chris, it's visible.
Terrific. Thank you so much. All right. So who am I? My name is Chris Radvansky. I've served for 11 years with an HR analytics and consulting company, serving clients such as McKinsey, Goldman Sachs, KPMG, Nike, Facebook, you name it. A lot of really nice clients. And essentially what we were responsible for is the HR, the temporary workforce, contingent workforce operations for those clients that I just listed off. And me and my team were responsible for providing clean data sets, nice reporting, data analytics, dashboards, supplier scorecards, all related to their contingent workforce operations. So that was me for 11 years, oversaw a team of 50 people spread throughout the world, including a center of excellence in India, acquisitions that took us into Europe and all across the United States. For the last 2 years, Rad Consultants has been in operations serving similar types of functionality within within analytics, largely using Power BI and, of course, Microsoft Excel as a bedrock. However, for the last 6 months, I've really dove headfirst into this AI enablement and just building like crazy when it comes to N8N. So let's just talk a little bit about why am I here to begin with. The reason is I do believe that this is an absolute revolution. The capabilities that are now available within AI should not just be relegated to the large companies of the world, such as your OpenAI and Anthropic and XAI and missing another one, Google, of course, but then also Salesforce and HubSpot and all those enormous companies out there. All individuals, all people can access and gain access to these tools to use them to their advantage. And the thing is, I was mentioning to somebody yesterday that it's actually easier than writing a VLOOKUP. Everything now is just in natural language. There's no syntax really necessary anymore. What's necessary is awareness. And that's why I'm here today. That's why I want to get up and talk in front of crowds. I spoke at Drexel University just the other day. I'm going to be speaking at the Society of Human Resources Management, also doing some AI demonstrations as well. So I believe that part of what I want to do is just bring all of this knowledge to the people. And then, of course, what we're going to jump into today is specifically how do we do it? We are doing that. We are bringing this AI enablement for my purposes through the use of N8N. And what we're doing is building all these different custom AI workflows that help to automate repetitive processes, that surface insights from just massive data sets that are right now probably being underused. And ultimately, we need to create systems that give us our time back. There's a quadrant, if you will, where you have things that are important and not important, and things that are urgent and not urgent. And so much of our time is spent on doing things that are both urgent and important because they must be done and they're important. However, if it's important and not urgent, that's something that falls by the wayside. So what AI is allowing us to do is to find more hours in the day where we can tackle all of the important things, regardless if it has to be done today or if it can wait until next month, it still has to be done. And that's what AI is really going to enable. So when people talk about, well, it's going to take up jobs, it's going to really disrupt the workforce in general, I think that it's going to allow us to do more. And that's what these AI workflows will help your business, will help you out with personally, whatever it might be. Let's learn them and let's apply them. So if you're not familiar, I have a friend, a podcaster named Isar Maitis with Leveraging AI. If you don't follow that, I would strongly recommend Isar. He's really defined 5 different levels of AI, as you can see them kind of popping up onto our screen here. You have the basic chat, you have custom gems, custom GPTs, projects within Anthropic or Claude. You have workflow automations, AI agents, and then vibe coding. Vibe coding is a term that was used, I think it was Andre Karpathy, like 8 months ago, talking about, all right, I just want to create a software. How can I do it? You can do that with tools like Lovable, Replit, Cursor. I think Google just this week released the vibe coding tool themselves as well. But for our purposes today, we can't tackle the entire world in 30 minutes here. I think I have 25 minutes now. We're going to focus on workflow automation. So repeatable processes that ingest data and provide consistent outputs. If you saw the other one was agents, it's something that's going to be a little bit more inconsistent. It's not as specifically defined. So a lot of folks are going to be a little bit more hesitant turning on an agent versus understanding a workflow from A to Z, understanding what happens if this happens, then that happens, versus an agent, you give it a number of different tools and it will make a decision given what it's been trained to do a certain process. Now, that decision can be very different from one run to the next. That very difference, that fluctuation, that variety is really going to be dependent upon how well you build it, how well you train it, what kind of information you give it, what kind of tools you give it, how much is jammed into the prompt that it's given. And if it's really ambiguous, if it really pulls the agent a number of different ways, it's going to really vary in terms of what decisions it makes. So that level of uncertainty, and there's a hell of a lot of uncertainty in the AI space right now, that leads me to focus more on workflows than agents. So I've mentioned NAN a little bit here. For those folks, again, that weren't here on Tuesday, workflow automation, that's really what we're looking at here, empowering individuals to build sophisticated automations with flexibility and simplicity. It is really a node-based IT automation platform. It's open sourced, so which that means is you can download this from NAN's website and you can self-host it within your own environment. So whether that you have a server, you're a business and you have a whole data center, you can download this. You don't have to pay NAN for ongoing usage of this. We can talk a little bit more about costs as well in a little bit. It connects your different APIs. So if you have systems out there, if you have technology that house a lot of your data, they enable an API extraction. You can bring that into NAN. You can tie it in with other different systems, other custom processes that maybe that software that you're using does not allow for. So extremely flexible. That's what I'll tell folks, that this is really infinitely flexible. You can do so many different things. There's really no limitation. From a cost perspective, it's really based upon volume, but we're talking about fractions of pennies for a lot of these runs where you say, okay, I don't want to use too much. It's unbelievable how much you can get out of this after putting $10 into an API account for one of these services that we're going to see. That will last you a very, very long time. Each node represents an app, a service, a function connected with it, with the workflows that trigger automatically on demand. So this is the workflow actually that we're going to be walking through. Now, this is just a screenshot of it, but you'll see that, okay, this is where we can get to. And in fact, in the middle, you can see market research to drive, LinkedIn scrape. Those red little nodes, those are actually sub workflows that go elsewhere and run other processes. So it's a very modular type of system. And that's what I mean when I say that it's very infinitely flexible. You can go a lot of different directions with this. Now, you might have heard of make.com. You might have heard of Zapier. Of course, I'm talking about NAN here. And what we're looking on the screen here is how many folks are creating content on YouTube specific to one of these two platforms. Again, Zapier, it's been around for a long time, but I think that it's not as AI ready. You can make an argument either way, but a lot of content is being created on N8N, and you can see that ramp up started back in January. I believe that's really when they started putting in these large language models within the automated workflow. So you've had automations. You can say, if this, then that, if this, then that, and then just do this every time XYZ happens. That's not intelligence. That's not artificial intelligence. That's just a rote workflow that runs every time something happens. It's pretty much 100% predictable, with, of course, bugs popping up from time to time. Upstream system changes happen, and that needs to adjust the workflow. But for the most part, if everything stays as it is, you will get the 100% predictable outcome that you build. With N8N, of course, that's where we don't have that, because we do have these large language models. We can prompt it, just like we prompt within ChatGPT. You go out there, you say, I want to have an email, rewrite this email. Every time you put in that same exact email, you're going to get different responses, but it's going to be within reason. And we'll touch on this a little bit here. But if you're going to invest your time in one of these workflow engines, you can see on the screen here, you're going to see a lot stronger community, a lot more tips, a lot more resources. I'm in an AI workflow community myself with a guy named Jono Catliff. You can come across his videos, and they've been very helpful to me. So I joined up with his solution, or his community. And so you can see N8N is really going to be my tool of choice on the go forward. And Prativa, if there are any questions, I would love to have this be a little bit more conversational. I'm not going to be keeping an eye out on the chat. So if anything comes up, feel free to interrupt me here.
Sure, Chris, will do.
Terrific. So you can see here, there's two hosting paths. I mentioned that you can download this and you can have this on your own system, and that's true. Or you can, and that would be the second item here, the self-hosted, or you can do the N8N cloud, where you log in onto your browser to N8N, and then you pay on a monthly subscription basis. You pay for the volume of workflows that you have active. You pay for, I believe, for the amount of times that you run each individual workflow. So in that way, a lot of folks, especially that want to use this on a regular go-forward basis, they see this as a major service offering for them, just like I see for myself. You're going to opt for that self-hosted. Now, if you want to do that self-hosted, what you'll learn is that anytime your computer goes to sleep and you try to run a workflow, let's say from your phone, or you try to say, hey, check out what I built, you show it to your friend or your wife or whomever it might be, and your computer's asleep, that's not going to run. And for that reason, what folks will do, myself included, you can see at the bottom, my self-hosted stack, I have a VPS through Hostinger, which is kind of like a GoDaddy website hoster, but they also have a service to host your N8N instance. I have remote access to that terminal, that VPS, with VS Code, and there's a container maintenance type of a situation with a company called Docker, a software called Docker. So that's my stack right now. You can hear that I'm not extremely familiar with what really Docker is doing, and how long have I been using VS Code. All of this information is relatively brand new to me. I've been doing this about 6 months. I've ramped up using a lot of YouTube, using a lot of community resources, like I just mentioned, that other community I've joined. I'm not a developer. I'm somebody that recognizes how important AI is and the opportunity that we have in front of us to really take advantage of it, because not a lot of people are sitting on this call right now. Not a lot of people want to jump out there and invest the time to learn all this information. They want somebody else to do it for them. And so right now, if you're willing to invest the time and learn some of these tools, whether it's N8N or some of the other tools that you might have seen through this GSDC series, you're investing time wisely, and you're doing things that 95% of people are not doing right now. So focus on something that you see the most value in, something that you're passionate about, something that you think could help people that you want to help, and then really invest the time in doing so. So for me, right now, with the infinite flexibility of N8N, that's where I'm spending my time. So let's get a little bit into the specifics when it comes to N8N. all of these workflows are going to be initiated by a trigger. Now, that trigger could be a time of day. That could be a trigger when a new row is added to Google Sheets, or when a certain form is filled out online using a webhook. So everything needs to say, okay, what is the thing that's going to get me started? Then you have different nodes that you can say, okay, I want to grab this application. I want to do this operation. I want to put in some code here. You can use all these different items that we're going to be putting onto these workflows are called nodes. Expressions, a lot of JavaScript, a lot of JSON. And again, this is information and content that I've learned in the last 6 months. I'm getting more and more familiar. But the great thing is that I'm not on an island when it comes to this. Yes, I have this community, but if you don't know how to do something, guess who does? These large language models that we have access to. So while I'm building within N8N, I'm also very much using ChatGPT. I'm using Claude a lot. I like Claude a little bit better when it comes to coding. So that's how I'm helping build these expressions when need be. One other thing I did want to mention is that right now in beta, N8N is having a process where you can natural language prompt N8N in the cloud version, not in the self-hosted version, but in the cloud version, to create a workflow just based upon a prompt. So just like we would prompt ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Grok, we can prompt N8N, hey, this is the workflow I want you to build just in natural language. So that's something that's rolling out. And then credentials. So as I stand up a workflow for my clients, I have all of my RAD consultants, I have my personal account, I have my HubSpot account, I have Go High Level. Those are all my credentials. If I want to automate workflows for my clients, I need to obtain their credentials. I might need them to provide me a secret key and a client ID for their Azure environment for Microsoft. I might need them to jump into their Google Cloud Console and set up some, enable some APIs, establish some scopes. And so all that information, you have to set it up one time. You might have to refresh your credentials from time to time, and we'll see if I have to do that when I'm running some of these workflows live. But that's a really important aspect of this as well. Finally, executions, error checking. You are going to run into circumstances where you hit go, you expect it to work, and it just doesn't work. So the execution will show as failed instead of succeed. And then you have to say, okay, anytime my workflow fails, I want to get a heads up about it. I don't want to assume everything works. So therefore, you can set up automated error checking to email you when a workflow does fail. Really nice functionality there. So when it comes to automation and AI, that is what makes an AI workflow. So you need to have that AI. I had somebody ask me the other day to build a workflow for them. I don't need to have ChatGPT nodes within that because it is a relatively rote process. For that reason, I'm using N8N, but I'm not going to call it an AI workflow. So that's kind of the difference. If you don't have a large language model in there, you have an automation. If you do, of course, you have an AI workflow. All right, actual benefits of AI for everybody is automation. You can do personalization, you can do distillation. And what I mean by distillation is you take a large volume of information, you break it down into really what matters to you. And that's what I want to show us right here. So let's see, I think I was at 41. I might be 17 minutes in already. So Prativa, keep me honest with my timeline here. Okay. So you can see, I believe, my N8N instance right now, I believe. So this is a workflow that I wanted to show you. This ran for me 58 minutes ago. You can see I have a schedule trigger here. And so what I'll do is I'll jump into each one of these nodes so you can see what goes into having a workflow such as this run. You'll see this is relatively simple. The screenshot I showed before, sub workflows, a lot more nodes. This one, hopefully we get our feet wet a little bit here. So what we do is we jump in, where you can see we're in the editor tab here. We can check out executions. I haven't done evaluations just yet. You can see that this one is active. So every time this schedule shows up, it's going to run. I could deactivate it if I don't want that to run anymore. It's called Inbox Newsletter Summary. My guess is if I asked everybody raise your hand if you get a newsletter, everybody would be raising their hand. Everybody raise their hand. Maybe if you get 5 newsletters, I think that we have a knowledge-thirsty audience here with us. But what I've done here is I said, okay, every other day, every 2 days at 11 a.m. and 0 minutes of 11 a.m., I want you to run this workflow. And there's so many different steps that you can build within a workflow, but you need to be very, very specific. We're talking to a computer here, and it's going to do exactly what we tell it to do, no more, no less, unless we engage with artificial intelligence and we say, and get creative, think about other things that could be really cool, and it will do that. For triggers, I'm sorry, for nodes that are strictly tell me what to do. This is an automation. You can say, okay, well, every 2 days, what are you going to do? Well, that's where we go to the next node. So what I can do is I can just hover over here, see that my next node is going to be a Gmail node, which is called Get Many Messages. I'll go ahead and click on that. So I mentioned about credentials. You can see I have a couple different credentials here. I have a Google service account as well. One thing, if you jump into this, and what I want to do is I want to expose you all to the types of functionalities, the types of words, the expressions, the capabilities here, and so that you understand what's possible. And then if you have any questions, please do contact me. Contact me on LinkedIn. Let's connect. I'm happy to share my knowledge more specifically. But you'll say, okay, there's times when, hey, actually a Google service account, the credential will not expire every 4 days like it will for a Gmail account. So therefore, you might want to select a service account. So those are little things that you find out along the way. Within a Gmail node here, you can see we're on operation of get many. Well, get many what? Well, we want to get many messages. So if we want to get many threads, get many drafts, get many labels, we could do that. If instead of getting many messages, if we wanted to delete messages, we can do that. If we wanted to reply or send messages, send and wait for response, which is something where we keep the human in the loop, we can do that as well. So very flexible in terms of the actions. These are all called actions, or I guess they're calling it operations here. But these are all the actions that you can do that are native within this Gmail node. We want to limit this to 50. Now, okay, well, right now, if we just read down here, it's going to bring me 50 emails. Now, I don't know if they're going to be the most recent. That's a question I don't have the answer to myself. However, there are filters applied. So if I expand this out, I said, you know what, I get newsletters from Enterprise DNA, from Sky and Associates, from acquisition.com, from Justin Welsh, from Ezra Sage, and from I believe this is, what's his name? Oleg, I forget, but nevertheless, he's an AI entrepreneur type of individual. So if what I'm telling this workflow to do is filter for any emails that come from these senders. So what it would do, I'm going to actually go ahead and run this. Actually, no, I'll show the execution. So maybe I can toggle back and forth between the edits. So you can see we've had a number of different runs here. It's run successfully. So it ran this morning, like I said, about an hour and 2 minutes ago. It got many messages. It got 50 of them. And you can see it got all 50. Now, what we can do is we can scroll over here to the right. We see all this activity, all the text, all the information, the metadata is coming through. You can see the subject. This is a Alex Hormozy email here. And there we go. And you can see I can scroll down. Man, we have a lot of content and we have multiple different pages of content. So I said the word distillation. I want to distill these 50 messages down to something that I can actually work with, that's going to be useful. Yeah, I should probably find more time in my day to read through every single newsletter I subscribe to and learn from them. Very few of us have the time to do it. I'll jump into a lot of them, but not digest them as much as I might want to. So then we put in an edit fields node. This is where we just say, okay, listen, we have all this stuff. This, if we take this with us, it's just going to maybe confuse the works. So I'm going to limit the content that I have down to this text field, the date, and who it's from. So now you can see over here, we have input. Here, we have the activity, the action. And now over here, we have the output. Now this output can be displayed as a table, as a schema, and this is just one of the items. You can see there's 50 items here. Tables will, though, display all of the items. And then JSON is, I believe, also displaying all the items, but just, of course, in a not as legible manner. Then we go to a filter. Now, what we've done here is we said, okay, we got 50 different emails, and we only had 50 from all of these different senders because we told one of these nodes, this one, to limit this to just 50 emails. So that's why we got 50. Now, what we have is emails going back 2-3 weeks, maybe. So we say, okay, we only want to filter this date field that we just got, which has 50 different items. We want to limit that to only emails that came across in the last 3 days. And you can see this code here. Thank you, ChatGPT, for helping me write it. Tells me that the items that we're going to keep are only within the last 3 days. So here we kept 3 items, one from Alex Hormozy, one from Ashley from Ezra Sage, which helps with burnout, one from Justin Welsh, who talks about a lot about entrepreneurship. And we discarded 47. So you can see how clean and understandable this is. Now, you do have to get exposed to it. You do have to play with it. You do have to become more familiar with it. But once you do, then you say, okay, I understand input, action, output. Then we aggregate the item into one field. And then this is where we apply our AI. Everything up until this point was all just automation. Follow these steps. This is now what we're doing is we're saying, okay, we're going to import this field, this text field. We're going to say that's an input. And here's where we put our prompt. So just like you would jump into ChatGPT, you're doing that same thing here. We're messaging a model, and you can see we're messaging GPT-5, which is the model came out probably in August or so. We're saying message a model, which you're going to use most of the time. We're also saying, give me this content out as JSON, JavaScript object notation. And you can see I've defined the structured JSON that I want to have. And I'm going to remind everybody, I'm not a developer. I learned all this information through YouTube, through trial and error, through taking screenshots of these screens. I'm saying, why did this happen? Why isn't this working? You see a lot of green here. When there's something wrong with your workflow, any end will highlight it as red and saying, listen, I don't see that field. That's the wrong syntax. That's not going to work. And therefore, you need to do something else. So once you say, okay, I can't figure out why this is red, you take a screenshot, you put that screenshot into ChatGPT, say what's going on with this, and you can work back and forth. So it's all about iteration and learning. And of course, the more you learn, the more you realize, I know exactly why that happened, and therefore you don't need to engage with ChatGPT. But just like you would prompt anything, you prompt, say, I need a paragraph of content. I need 3 paragraphs that should have a logical story flow. So let's see here, the message model. And then finally, the last step in this workflow is to send a message. So just like we grabbed 50 messages with our initial node after the trigger, we are now saying, okay, I want to send a message. So this is a different activity. You saw I hit the drop down for message, and the other one I said was get many. This operation, instead of get many, this is now send. And that's really how simple it is to change between one action and the other. I'm going to show you though real quick. As I say, okay, I want to add a node. You can see all the different categories of nodes here. We want to keep a human in the loop. We have AI, action in an app. I guess his action in an app is where Gmail is going to be. Well, you can see there is a lot of native nodes in here that you can jump into. Or you can just type in Gmail and results in other categories. Okay, so I was in the wrong category. Action in an app is the wrong spot. But as I select Gmail, you can see it's got 26 different actions. It says actions perform a step once your workflow has already started. So when I click send a message, that shows up. However, I'm able to do absolutely anything. Any of those items, if I wanted to label, and delete a label, I can do that. So as much as you start it by kind of clicking on this item over here, once you get into the node, it becomes very, very flexible at that point. All right, and then finally, you can see that over here, I had ChatGPT help me create an HTML content so that this doesn't come across as really IT text that is just not attractive to look at. What it came across as is, here we go. So this is the output. Granted, it was only those 3 newsletters. If I extended the timeline or if I said, run this once a week, and therefore it's going to have 10 different emails that it's distilling, but it's going to take that content and not only say, okay, Alex said this, Ashley said this, and Justin said this, it's going to interweave based upon the prompt that I gave it, what I do as a business with the content that they're sharing with me. So that's personalization, that's automation, that's distillation in one workflow. So before you push new automations, get clear on what you're chasing, pick a simple promise and a tight niche. we cut claims time by 40% for dental clinics, whatever it might be. So it's taking the content from those newsletters and saying, what does this mean to Chris Radvansky? Any questions? And Prativa, how much time do we have left? I know it's not forever.
We have 5 to 10 minutes more.
Okay, terrific.
After that, we can take the questions.
All right. And let's see, I do have the question, is it safe we give access to our emails? It's so anything is safe. I mean, you have your credentials, you have your, there's a lot of sources out there, a lot of different businesses that have information on us. What you can do is you can monitor stuff. If you are really hesitant about data privacy, I understand. I think that the more restrictive governments are and companies are about AI, the less of a chance that they will keep up with what's happening and keep ahead of their competition. So there needs to be some level of risk tolerance when it comes to data. The other thing is that what you can do is you can, if you're going to host this, you can host this on your own servers and it's not going to go anywhere. So all the credentials that we're putting out here, they exist. I don't think I did anything, but sure, they exist here. And this exists within your servers. So in that way, this is safe. The way that we engage with ChatGPT, and I'll jump into another workflow here, is with our account. So our ChatGPT account, OpenAI account, that account has an API key. That API key comes from a unique, very long string of text that we get from platform.openai.com. I showed that the other day. So it's platform.openai.com. Or if you have a Firecrawl account, you can see right here, this is my API key. You can see it's all hidden. I can easily copy that and set up my credentials within and for Firecrawl as well. So it does as much as it can to keep the process secure. If we're talking about electronic health records, if we're talking about private data, proprietary information, do you want to upload all that information to here? No, you do not. What you can do is you can mask information before you upload it. So if you have Sally Jones and you have 50,000 different people, you can mask that as patient one, student one, whatever it might be, and then you do that mapping outside of this system, but you put it in, you have it churn through in this very flexible manner, whatever you need from it, and then you get the output delivered. And that output would still have employee one, employee two, employee three. And then after the fact, you map back in who is employee one, who is employee two. So that whole proprietary PII information never gets into the workflow, if that's where some considerations are. And I will say that if you are with a larger enterprise, if you have a legal team, if you have information security, run this by them. I know there's a lot of restrictions around, well, can we access ChatGPT? We have Copilot. Can we use ChatGPT? The more I hear about Copilot, the more I really don't ever want to use it. I'm sure it's going to advance, but I hear a lot of people that have access to Copilot, that have some shackles in terms of what they're allowed to use from a corporate perspective, jumping out onto their personal device, going out into the parking lot. I've heard that to use ChatGPT. So that's what I'll say about that. All right. So when it comes to this much more broader process, one of the great aspects of these workflows, again, it gives you the ability to grab a lot of information. So web scraping, okay? Now, web scraping, for the most part, is not always agreed upon with the terms of service for a website. So if you have considerations or fears around that, that's something else to consider. Mind you, there is a tool called Apify, A-P-I-F-Y, and all it does is scrape all these different websites. In fact, today there was a note that, hey, there's a couple scrapers and actors, they're called, that are not working because the upstream system, I think it was Google Maps, changed something, and therefore we need to modify the actor. It's not going to work for you right now, but we'll change it. And then I got another email like an hour later, hey, that scraper, that now works. So as much as, yes, it's frowned upon, if not worse, to scrape, there's businesses that are built to exclusively do that. So it's just a matter of, okay, what's legal depending upon where you are. All right, so these two items here, these are webhooks. These are ways in which you can establish some code on a website, on a form that says, okay, every time somebody hits submit on this form, then this is going to initiate. And for this generic form item, that's actually coming from a Google Sheets. Let's see here, where was that coming from? Sorry, folks, I should have had this up. I think it's this one. So within this item, we have a form that's associated with this, a Google form. This item also has a script associated with it. This script, and again, this is exposure. This isn't stuff that you're going to memorize right now, but it's to understand, okay, this is what goes into it. If you're not at all comfortable with app scripts in Google Forms, welcome to me 3 months ago. You know, this is all new stuff to me. If you are dedicated to upskilling yourself, get a little bit comfortable with this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel that says, you know what, you don't even have to do this, as I just mentioned about natural language prompting to create end-to-end workflows. However, for now, this is where we are. If you want to live in this world, this is where you're going to be operating a little bit. So this workflow, this webhook URL is the same. See, it ends in B7D. I hope. There we go, B7D. So you have a test URL and you have a production URL. So you need to tie this script, which is tied to this sheet, which is tied to this form. And by filling out this form, that initiates the webhook, that initiates adding the line item to this, adding a line item to this, recognizes this, this recognizes this, and pulls it in here. Automation. You build it once, it works forever. So then you say, okay, well, we have two different ways in which people are going to engage with leveraging AI, David, leveraging AI, Isar Mates. All right, so we have two ways in which we want to engage with this workflow. One is, yes, adding an item here. Another is jumping back out here, and I believe it's Rad Master Company List, and just hitting a checkbox. And so this, if I hit this checkbox here, actually, you know what? I have to put in a couple inputs. I'm going to put it, my goodness, I've never heard of many of these companies, but they exist. I'm going to put it here, checkbox. And, you know, again, sometimes these things, I'm building these planes while I'm flying them to a degree. But just by hitting this checkbox, that initiates this script. This script, 15ADD, is tied to this webhook. So different webhook, different way in which I'm engaging with the with a process, the workflow, but it's going to run through the same exact workflow. And in fact, it's probably running right now. Yes. So what this will do, and I'll kind of cut to the chase here, is it's going to run through 1, 2, 3 different ChatGPT nodes. It's going to scrape, it's going to find the prospect's website, it's going to scrape the website. It's going to find the vendor's website, it's going to scrape the website. It's going to find the logo and the color scheme for the vendor. It's going to ask ChatGPT, hey, given what we now know about the prospect, educate me on what that prospect does. It's then going to say, okay, well, here's what it does in plain text. And I told in this sub workflow, which I don't have time to jump into, I told that to create a PDF that takes the content from ChatGPT and puts it into a nice deliverable. And so that deliverable is right here. The company I just asked for is called Coupang. I don't know what they do, but I'm about to find out because here's a market research document on Coupang. Simplify online shopping, offering fast delivery, operate with sophisticated logistic network, combined with advanced technology, always delivers my orders faster than expected, focused on expanding product range and enhancing delivery. Now, this, what you're looking at here, this starts as a Google Slides template that is pre-built with a whole bunch of different placeholders so they can be replaced by the workflow and the content that's coming from the workflow. So you can see here it says business purpose summary. I know this is an eye test. But that's replaced within the workflow within one of the steps. I think it's a Google Slides node to find this text, find business purpose summary with curly brackets around it, and replace it with this field that we got from ChatGPT. All right. And you can see it kind of goes from there. LinkedIn scraper, personalize an email, set up an email ready to go that looks good, that is HTML. If you don't know HTML, it has less than great deliverable rankings and ratings. So sometimes you just want to go with the text, but you want that text to be tailored to the end person themselves to tell about what you can do. And this is, of course, I'm talking about sales and marketing. We can do this for operations. We can do this for that large data set, that large volume of data that you have that you're not doing much with because you don't have the time. It's that important but not urgent. Build a workflow, invest the time, and then you can apply that many different times within your business or for your clients. I think I might be over time here. Pratik, are we good? Can we take some questions maybe?
Yes, Chris. So David wants to know, can you share again the name of the podcast you recommended and the community you are a member for learning AI?
Sure. So it's leveraging AI, and I'm putting it in the chat. And then school, SKOOL, school.com, and then it's called Automatable, Jono Catliff. And yeah, Isar, he's great. He shares 2 podcasts every week. Every Friday, he has an Ask Me Anything session where you just jump on and say, all right, what's the news of the day? And usually about 20 people show up, myself included. We get to know about the latest tools and just share some of the wins that we've had ourselves.
Thank you so much for this amazing and insightful session, Chris. I'm sure our participants have learned a lot. So as we have run out of time, so we'll not be able to take the more question. But if you want to connect with the Chris or you want to know more about the N10 or anything related to the I am sharing his LinkedIn ID in the chat box for your convenience. You can connect with him on the LinkedIn. Chris, would you like to give any final comments?
Now, I would say just get interested in one of these. If you've attended many of these GSDCs, a lot of great content. I contacted the individual yesterday who was presenting, Melissa, and dig in, get consistent, do something every day.
Thank you so much for this amazing, thoughtful answer, Chris. So let me moving ahead. I'll just allow me a minute to share my screen. So these are the today's challenge which you guys have all been waiting for. Your mission is take your AI workflow automation skills to the next level using N8N, build a multi-step AI workflow that not only automates data flow but also integrate intelligence generating insight summaries of response automatically. I am putting this into the chat box as well for your convenience so that you guys can complete your challenge. And while you are completing the challenge, make sure when you're posting it on the LinkedIn, you are tagging the GSDC. That way, you guys are giving us the chance to follow your journey and help you on every step of the way. We are so happy to see those many of participants are actively taking part in the challenge. And by tagging the GSDC, they are giving us the chance to follow their journey and cheering to them for every step of the way. So make sure you're tagging the GSDC as well. And before wrapping up the session, well, let me give you a quick introduction regarding the upcoming events. So we have upcoming events from 10 to 14 November on AI implementation series at 10:30 a.m. CST, 12:30 a.m. SGT, and 10 p.m. IST, and 11:30 a.m. EST. And apart from that, I wanted to introduce you regarding utility tools. So this tool will help you out to stand out in your job hunting journey in front of the HRs and recruiters. So what you can do, you can log in from your LinkedIn ID and password, and it will give you recommendations to completely transform your LinkedIn profile to stand out in front of the recruiters. It will give you a recommendation for your bio, for your profile, for your experience management and everything. So make sure you're using this tool by grabbing the offer of coupon code which we are giving to our participant only, and the coupon code will give you 100% discount for using this tool. I'm sharing the coupon code in the chat box as well. And apart from that, we are also going to be host the upcoming webinar on 3rd to 21st November for Learning and Development series at 9:30 a.m. CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, and 8 p.m. IST. And we are going to conduct ISO 42001 and ISO 27001 at 3rd to 27 November at 9:30 a.m. CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, and 8 p.m. IST. And we have another session for generative solving real project management challenges with generative AI at 7:30 a.m. CST, 8:30 p.m. SGT, and 6 p.m. IST. So make sure you guys are grabbing the spot via the registration link, which is available into our website. I'll also be sharing the link of website, LinkedIn group, and WhatsApp to connect to into the chat box for your convenience, so that you guys can connect with us over there and grab the upcoming event. With that, it's time to celebrate our referral champions. So we have the top three champions, Saroj, Dauda, and Leela Venkatesh. Congratulations to all three of you. Keep the momentum going. You can also be part of the referral champions. So what you have to do, you have to, if any of your peer colleagues and professionals wants to join the upcoming webinars, please refer them via the registration link which you will be finding into our website. And once you will hit a 50 referral point, you will be able to get a $400 gift certification voucher. So make sure you're grabbing this offer as well. And these are the platform where you can connect with us on LinkedIn, on our website, on WhatsApp group. And you can also give us your feedback or your session takeaways, what you have learned from our upcoming sessions and what you have learned from all of the amazing sessions which our amazing speakers have presented for you on Trustpilot. I'm sharing the Trustpilot link as well in your chat box for your convenience, so that you don't have to search a lot before giving the feedback. So make sure you're giving us the feedback over there also. And if you like today's session, so please make sure you're giving us the feedback over there too. So this is the link for the Trustpilot, and above I have shared the link of connecting with us for the website, LinkedIn ID, and WhatsApp group. With that, the events have come to end. Thank you so much, Chris, once again for your amazing and insightful session. We are very honored to have you as our speaker. Thank you so much, participant, for joining into the session of webinar. Make sure you're joining us here in the upcoming webinar as well. We are grabbing the registration link. We have a lot of amazing panel of speakers we have lined up for you on a different kind of topic to make your learning journey even more dynamic and fun. And with that, it's time to come to an end. Have a good night, good day, good evening, wherever you are. Keep learning, keep energizing. Thank you so much once again for all. Thank you so much, Chris, for your amazing session.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day, a good night, evening ahead, wherever you are.